Well, coaching change in Tampa, major surprise.
Yeah, if you didn't see this one coming, you needed to get a clue for Christmas. But Richard Williamson is probably better off, to be honest with you. Richard Williamson, you know, he's had to deal with rumors of his firing almost since he took the Bucs head coaching job in February. Today, the rumors turned to reality. After 15 losses in 19 games in just over a year, Williamson's out. The Bucs were supposed to be a better team this year. How many times have we heard that before? Instead, they were inept, going 3-13. And while Tampa Bay fans sacked their team, Williamson insists a little luck could have put a much different season in the bag.
Obviously, I'm disappointed. We didn't win enough games, but we were close on numerous occasions. The bounce of the ball could have made a difference. If the ball had bounced in a different manner early in the year, who knows, we might have been practicing this week.
Hey, fellas, this is what you work all off-season for. This is why you lift all them weights. This is why you do all that. Hey, you got him just...
No, Bill Parcells hasn't taken over there in Tampa Bay yet. He's said to be mulling over a 5-year deal worth $1.5 million a year. Now, neither Parcells nor Buck owner Hugh Culverhouse would comment. Well, you may know the face, and you definitely know the name. David Shula is the new head coach of the Cincinnati Bengals, replacing Sam Weiss, who either quit or was fired, depending on who you listen to. Yes, he is the son of Dolphins head man Don Shula, and despite his tender age, 32, he brings 10 years of coaching experience to the Bengals job. Now, David is the youngest head coach ever hired by an NFL team, just a few months younger than the other Shula was when the Colts hired him in '63.
Kidded me. He said, you know, you're going to break my record, don't you? And I really hadn't thought about it at the time. I said, what are you talking about? He said, well, you're now going to be the youngest head coach ever hired in the National Football League. And I said, he said, but I'm all for you. And he said, the next record I hope you break is 300 wins. And I said, well, I want to get one win first.
In 1951, I signed my first player contract with the Cleveland Browns, and Paul Brown was the man that signed me to that first contract. Now, what, 50 years later, is it? That's hard to believe that 50 years later, Mike Brown, the son of Paul Brown, is giving David his opportunity to be a head coach for the first time in the National Football League.
And yes, it was Don's understanding that there would be no math in that question. Don won't have to face David unless it's in the playoffs in '92. The Bengals and Dolphins aren't scheduled to play at all next season. And Chuck Knox called it quits today. After 9 seasons in Seattle, this move's been rumored for weeks. The Seahawks finished 7-9 in 1991 after making the playoffs 4 times since '83. Knox also coached the Bills and the Rams, and he could be headed back to L.A. since John Robinson quit there a couple weeks ago. And this Saturday's second Blockbuster Bowl could be the last. The proposed Bowl Alliance could leave future Blockbuster games out of the national championship picture, and game chairman H. Wayne Huizinga says he may pull his support of the game if that happens. The Blockbuster is trying to get the ACC and the Big East to send their champs to Joe Robbie Stadium every year. We'll have that game, Colorado and Alabama, tomorrow night at 9. And if you want to get up early tomorrow, the Resolution Run, I know you're a big runner, out at Gateway at 8 a.m. So if you have not qualified for that yet, they have a 10K run, all sorts of runs. If you can run, walk, ride a bike, do anything, get out there real early in the morning and get some exercise.
So those 2 things you look forward to, running a distance and getting up early in the morning.
And staying up very late watching football afterwards.